Hey there, how's it going everybody? Hope you're having a fantastic day. My name is Randy and welcome to Randy's Scales and Tales. Alright, we have a brand new unboxing and review video on tap for today, and is one of my favorite characters on the channel. Three videos for this one character already, one more, probably another one a little bit later, but it is Marin Kitagawa, the Liz cosplay version from Alter this time. The last video I did was from Spirit Tale. Now we have Alter's rendition, and so during this, I'm going to focus just on the Alter one at first, give her a review, and then once the review for her is done, I'll grab the other Marin and do a little side-by-side comparison. Nothing too crazy, but I know people are definitely debating between one or the other on which one to pick up, so hopefully this one can give you a little bit of help there. So let's start with the unboxing. Alright, here is Alter's box. It's a pretty odd shape, actually. It's longer than it is tall, which is not normally the case. So it's very, very elongated, as you can see from the top here. But aside from that, it is definitely a nice box. Lots of viewing windows, different viewing angles. You can see even through the top, which is pretty nice. Yeah, all in all, it's a nice box. Time to get this figure out. Alright, here she is in the blister pack. So the reason why this blister and why the box is so long is because they opted to put a full second blister on the back here for that other upper body piece. So it is basically two blisters squished into one. Oh, damn it. It's another one of those damn metal twist ties. Give me a sec, I'll be right back. Trusty nail clippers. Never leave home without them. There's two. There's two of these things. Let's get the base out of here. All right, we have a nice big fluffy disc base. It's definitely soft. I really wish other manufacturers would provide bases for figures that are kneeling or sitting or whatever. I hate trying to find things to put underneath. That being said, these are pretty big, so you can probably save some space and not use it if you have a soft surface that you already plan on putting her on. Interesting. So this plastic on her wings, it's tape. Like it's like a light tape. It's not super sticky, but it is definitely tape. That's the first time I've ever seen parts be taped like that. She also comes with plastic around her waist. That's because this whole upper body piece removes. I'll deal with that a little later. Let's get the, I'm just gonna get this bottom piece open up now. Oh, I also see that her tail is in this lower blister pack as well. There goes the twist ties. Upon initial looking, not a fan of that other bonus face. That is a shame. All right, so let's go over the assembly. Assembly is basically just removal of the upper body, get rid of the plastic, and then her tail inserts, obviously, into her back. So just be careful about where you pull. I wouldn't recommend just grabbing her by the head and pulling. You don't want to damage anything. So try and get kind of like around her torso here. And then pull. Ooh, that actually comes off really smoothly. That's good. I like that. All right. Definitely going to be a lot easier to put the tail in with the body, with the torso off. And that just goes right into a hole right above the crack. There we go. Easy. All right, so assembly is very, very smooth, which is really nice. I know that I've had ones where you have to like wiggle, pull it off. This one very smoothly comes off, smoothly goes back on. So that's great. Good job, Walter. All right, before we delve headlong into the review, why don't we go ahead and go through the figure showcase, get some close-ups of the default configuration, the bonus configuration, and then we'll wrap it up with a more in-depth review at the end. All right, showcase time in 3, 2, 1, let's go. All right, welcome back from the showcase. Hope you enjoyed that. It is review time, and I've spent some time looking over this figure in more detail from a purely execution, like a technical execution standpoint. This altar version definitely wins. It definitely beats out the Spirit Tail one by a considerable margin. It really depends on what pose you prefer. The Spirit Tail one is still really cool. I still really like it. And I don't regret getting her because it recreated that scene so well. It really took that inspiration from the manga and the anime and really made a pretty good figure out of it. Nothing wrong with that one, really. I had some nitpicks. I do have, obviously, that review on the channel. If you want to go check out her full review, so we're not going to do a full review of that one here. I will definitely link that down below. And I'll put it in the cards if you want to check it out. But we're going to focus now on this Marin. And I'm going to kind of just like start from the bottom, work my way up. So first, let's go over the base. I mentioned it in the beginning, but it is a round disc that is just nice, soft, fluffy material. I did brush it a bunch. Nothing's really coming off, which is great. You don't want a base that's just going to shed over time and it's like you have a pet cat or something. The fluff is staying on the base, which is great. Aside from that, you just have a pastel pink border. So not too much to write home about the base, but I do appreciate that fact that it is soft, that her knees and legs and feet will all be protected. Won't have any issues with this kind of base for this style of figure. Assembly for figure on base, done. I love it. Sometimes complicated figures can be a real pain in the butt. I love how simple this one is. All right, so first things first, we'll talk about the feet and legs. Very similar pose from the butt down, pretty much, in terms of this one and the Spirit Tail. And they both execute it very, very well. There's definite definition of toes in the feet. There's a little bit of shading even on her black socks. The legs have really, really nice shading. There's a lot of pinks used around the knee and especially where the calf and thigh meet together in that crease. There's a really good shading there. She has definite definition in the knees as well. Sometimes you'll just get a perfectly rounded piece of plastic, like it was just one straight piece that they bent. But this really does have sculpted knee caps, which is pretty cool from a sculpting standpoint. They did a fantastic job. The tail just inserts right above her panty line. The tail doesn't really seem to have any shading on it. It is just a glossy black paint all the way through, but the gloss really stands out because there's really not much else glossy on her. Great sculpting work on her lower garment. I don't even know what it is. But yeah, the ruffles are really nice. More delicate, thinner line work. It looks like they put a lot of care into these ruffles. Very well painted. There's no paint bleed over from the gray into the black or black into the gray sections, which is always really, really good. And then there's some crease work on the behind. I don't think the ruffles really have too much on the shading department, but the black part of her outfit does have some shading in it. There's some grays kind of mixed in, so definite shading. Moving up to her stomach, crazy like I thought the Spirit Tail one had a really well sculpted stomach, and I still think it does, but Alter's is really, really good. Great ab definition, great shading with pinks throughout to really highlight those muscles. And then because she's in this kind of twisted looking behind pose, her like midline is like twisting. Oh, it just looks so good. There's even like oblique work going on. Kind of crazy. She is fit. She's living that cosplay life to the fullest, and I absolutely love that. Fantastic. I have nothing bad to say for sure about her stomach midsection. Looks great. Her back is just as well defined, considering her hair covers a lot of it. They didn't skimp out on the detail, partially probably because they know you can remove the top half and then the back half is fully exposed. So they definitely have a lot of definition sculpted in, good highlights, good shading, just phenomenal. That same, like the back crease is also twisting, has that like curve to it because of her pose. So attention to detail, fantastic. Her top piece, not including the sleeves yet, but just like the top piece, that the bra piece basically, it has the same ruffle design as the bottoms and the same paint application and shading work that the bottoms have. So it's a black base with some gray shading in the bra itself, but the white portion of her top shading on that as well, it is similarly nice and delicate for the ruffled edging, well defined, well sculpted. The paint application is good. The shading is kind of like purple hues. I have to imagine that's due to her hair is why they chose to do purple. Spirit Teal did the same. All right, this was one of the big things that I really wanted to keep an eye out for, and that's going to be the sleeve work. The sleeve work is well done here. There is some shading to these sleeves. It is not just all gray without any darker or lighter parts. It does have some shading, which is nice and definitely appreciated. And then moving up to her hands are really well done, like crazy. There's like, you can see the palm lines. There's not like a ton, but there's definitely some sculpted line work in the palms. And then the hands have some dynamicism. Each finger is very individualized, which is just absolutely great work. The fingernails are nice and long. Black nail polish, of course, for the Liz cosplay, and that is applied well. It's a nice glossy finish. There's no missed parts of the fingernail. And in both hands, there's no bleed over of the paint onto the finger itself. And now moving up to one of the most important parts of any Marin figure is going to be the face. The face is always a huge point of contention with a lot of fans with her figures. This face is really adorable. They did a good job here. I do like that the decals have a gloss applied to them, the eye decals. I do like that in figures, and I feel like not many do have that. So when I see it, I definitely like to call it out. She has like the slightest bit of blush, or it could just be like eyeliner. Like I don't know what you call the eye makeup that goes like underneath. eyeshadow. I think it's eyeshadow. So that it may not be blush. It may more just be eyeshadow. And then she has these two little silver dots underneath the eyes that it's actually tough to see when the light bounces off it and catches it. Then it's noticeable. And I do like the smile. They did make sure the like line work still shows the fangs, which is good. So yeah, all in all, I do like the face. I'm a little afraid of that other face, so we'll get into that afterwards, however. Oh, something I spaced to talk about, but the wings. Wings have a good amount of detail. The inside of the wing has some shading. It's lighter gray in the middle, and then as you go out to the black edging, it starts to gradually get darker into a darker gray. And it is like that both on the front and the back of the wing, with the black being a little glossy. It's like a semi-gloss. Not as glossy as, let's say, the tail, but it does have some gloss on the black edging. All right, and then the last thing to kind of bring this all together is going to be the hair. Love it. Paint shading is my favorite shading for any part of a figure. And Alter delivered on the hair for this one. The hair is very dynamic. I love how the hair is folding and falling around the wings, paint throughout the entire piece with that purpley red as the base, and then using darker and lighter variants of that all throughout to highlight the hair. Really, really good sculpt work, individual strand work, and then the hair accessories are cute. No shading in the hair accessories themselves. Matte black for the scrunchie, and then a glossy black for the horns to match the wing edging and the tail. And that's it for the default configuration. Before I give a final score, I'm going to swap out to the alternate configuration, and we'll see how that looks. All right, and here she is with the other configuration, the other torso piece. Nothing to talk about for the outfit. The outfit is 100% identical. We'll start with the pros, and then we'll talk about the cons for this configuration. So, very Marin coated with the peace signs. I do like that a lot. The hand detailing is just as good as the other body piece. The hair sculpting is really good. The hair sculpting and paint, to be specific, looks really great on this one as well. I do like how her hair has that ombre style. They captured that well in paint application. Shading throughout, especially the top of her head, where it's much, much darker, and then it mellows out as it goes down, and then as you get into that ombre, the gradient is really good. So fantastic on the hair paint and such. This hair, however, doesn't interact with the wings like the other one. The one thing is that you do have like this one strand of hair that's on the front of the wing, and then the rest of it's on the back, and then you have the wing poking out the side through a couple pieces of hair. But that's really all you get. You don't get the cool draping effect that the other one has. So that's kind of a bummer in terms of the effort for the sculpt. It seems like a little less, but it is what it is. And now for one of the more important pieces about switching to this configuration is the face. It's weird. It's a little off-putting to me. It doesn't quite look like her. Like, I don't know. Something about it. There's something about it I don't like, and I don't know if I can pinpoint exactly what it is. I think if you look at her, she's technically supposed to be below you, twisting and looking up towards you. And I think when you have it set up as such, where she is lower than eye level, I think the face is pretty okay. Like it's not too bad at all. As soon as the figure becomes more elevated, I don't know, like it's one of those 2D to 3D type things where it just doesn't quite pan out when it's in a 3D space, because I don't think they get the smile quite right. That big grin. I don't know. And I feel like the eyes are too far apart, maybe. I do like that these eyes are glossy, just like the other face. And I think the eyes are pretty. And I do like all the ear jewelry that they sculpted in and painted in and everything. So they got all the pieces to the puzzle, but like one piece just kind of like goes in a little janky. I don't know. My hope for this whole thing, and part of the reason why I got both, well, the main reason I got both is I'm a huge Marin simp. But if you take that out of the equation, I had this grand plan of having the Spirit Tail Marin, because she doesn't come with any bonus things, any bonus parts. I was going to keep her in that standard full Liz cosplay, and then I was going to put this one in this configuration, so I had a different look. Even though it's the same outfit, I would at least have a different look. But the way things stand is I don't love how the face turned out. And there's so many more things that I love about that default faceplate that I'm more likely than not just going to keep them both in the full cosplay look. So that's a bit of a letdown for me. All right, it is scoring time. Oh, I've thought a little bit about this. I think I'm going to give 2 scores for this one because of the 2 different configurations that you can utilize. I'll start with this one. So obviously all the good points about the outfit, the body, that all remains the same. That has not changed. But the hair, face, primarily the face, the hair is nice, don't get me wrong. The hair is well executed. I just wish it was a little more dynamic like the other one, but the hair is still nice. But it's really kind of the face that hurts this, and it's a bummer since I wanted to display her like this, but I don't think I like it enough to do so. So with all that being said, I'm going to give this configuration a 7.5 out of 10. All right, now for this configuration of the figure, every aspect I love. I don't know if I have any cons to give to this version. It kind of ticks all the boxes for me. Sculpt, check. Paintwork, check. Shading, check. Character representation, like the character looks like the character is supposed to be, check. I find no real faults with this setup. Aside from the base, which seems to be bigger than it needs to be. I think the figure is perfect for me with taking everything into account for this setup. I'm going to give this a 9.5 out of 10. All right, the review phase is now officially over, and it's time for a little comparison between this and the Spirit Tail Marin. All right, that's gonna do it for me today. I have blabbed on long enough, that is for sure. Be sure to throw a comment down below letting me know what you think of this figure. If you have both, which one do you prefer? If you're waiting on which one you wanted to get and you're just kind of doing some investigative work, I'm so curious to know what people are picking and choosing between the two. I'm glad I have both. They both bring a little something different to the table, though I do wish at the end of the day that the bonus configuration looked better than it does. But I still love this one, and I think she turned out fantastic. Absolutely fantastic with this default setup. And that'll do it for me. Signing out. Have a great one, everyone. Take care, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye now.